Hey, what's up everybody? Yo from FT-86 SpeedFactory here again. Today, talking about drive shafts. We've got a couple options in front of me here from the DriveShaft shop, and want to go over the differences between the carbon and the aluminum drive shaft that they have, and then also the benefits of installing one of these and going over how easy it is to install one of these on your Scion FRS or Subaru BRZ. I want you guys to follow along with me because, again, I'm going to give out a coupon code for these drive shafts. We just got a few of these in stock, so we want to get these out to you guys, get that coupon code, and get a nice discount on these from our website. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we want to take a look at the couple differences here between the two drive shafts. The greenish colored one with the sticker on it is your carbon drive shaft, and then the silver colored metallic is the aluminum drive shaft that is offered from the DriveShaft shop. Couple differences from them. First off is weight, which is not that big of a difference. The carbon drive shaft is just at about 12 pounds total for this whole thing. It's very lightweight. I can curl this thing easily with one hand, and I'm not very strong. And then the aluminum version is only about a pound heavier, so at 13 pounds. And again, I can still curl this with ease, so very nice piece. And the other difference is basically how they're constructed. Again, one piece aluminum, this is one piece carbon that they get built. I'm not sure where they get it built from, but somebody else makes these carbon tubes for them, and then they balance and put together the joints and all that, which is one of the differences between the two. Is you can see here that this is glued on. It's obviously a high strength glue and bonding process that DriveShaft shop uses for this. This drive shaft is rated at 800 horsepower, 800 wheel horsepower, so probably a lot higher than a lot of FRS or BRZ guys are going to be having. But this is a very good quality piece, and they have never, I believe, had any type of adhesive or bonding issues with any of their carbon drive shafts that are out for the various models that they have. With the aluminum drive shaft, you can see here that it's obviously welded on, so you have that difference. These are actually rated at about 500 horsepower, so it is a little less. But as far as the differences go, that's about it. You've got weight, and you've got how they're made, and obviously the material itself. So we're going to take a look at the OEM piece now and tell you why they're beneficial, and then go ahead and get this stuff installed. All right, here we are underneath the car, and as you can see above me, the OEM drive shaft. That is what we are replacing, and as you can see, it is a two-piece design. Up front here is where you connect to your transmission. You've got a carrier here, and this is where you get the second piece that connects to it. That goes all the way back to your rear diff. Now, this OEM drive shaft is about 25 pounds. So, as I told you earlier, the aluminum and the carbon are about 12, 13 pounds. So you're reducing your rotational mass by about half on that, which is amazing. Same process as when you do a lightweight flywheel or you do lightweight pulleys on your engine. All this rotating mass is extra weight that the engine has to turn to get the power to the wheels. So what you do essentially is free up that horsepower for the engine, so you'll get pretty much the same kind of response that you would get with a lightweight flywheel or pulleys. That would be easier revving, you know, the freed up horsepower, and the throttle response will be a lot better. All great things to do, and when you're saving weight on a car that is as small as the FRS, the gains are substantial. So very cool. Also, you've got the two-piece aspect here, and then we've got a one-piece for the carbon and aluminum drive shafts. You'll have a more direct feel because there's not an extra joint here to move around. As you can see, that can move up and down there. With that one-piece shaft, you won't have that. So let's take this thing off and get that carbon drive shaft in. First step you'll want to take when removing your OEM drive shaft is draining the transmission oil out of the tranny. You'll lose a lot of fluid when you take the yoke out of the transmission, so you're going to have to fill it up anyway. You might as well drain it out and get some new fluid in there, especially if you're going to be doing it soon under your maintenance schedule anyway. So here you'll see the fill plug up top and the drain plug on the bottom. You want to take the fill plug off first and then drain from the drain plug and button it up, except for leaving this fill plug open a little bit. And once we button up the drive shaft install, we'll get this transmission filled back up. From the front here, the back side of the transmission, this is where you will take the drive shaft out of the transmission. No bolts or anything here. This is where you're going to lose that fluid. This just slides right out in this position, so nothing crazy there. Moving back, we've got the carrier bearing, and we've got a 14mm bolt on one side and a 14mm bolt on the other side. You have to remove those, and then all the way back we have 4 14mm bolts back here, all the way around on this. You'll want the transmission out of gear and the e-brake off when you want this, so you can twist this all the way around to gain access to all of the bolts. And we've left the cap back on because once you get all those bolts uninstalled, you'll be able to sneak this drive shaft right by it, which we're going to show you here in just a minute. Now that we know what we want to take out to get this drive shaft off, let's go ahead and get this thing down. You need a few tools for this, a couple 14mm wrenches, flathead screwdriver, and a rubber mallet. So let's start with the 14mm, and got a ratcheting one to get the 14mm bolts off of the carrier bearing up here. So what you have to do on this one that's closest to the cat back, you kind of have to go over the top of it to reach back there. Our swivel didn't reach back here with the socket because our Tomei Type 80 is a little too large. Got one out, go for the next one. Okay, now that's free. You can just leave that there. And then on the back side, where am I at? There we go. We got the 4 bolts on the diff here. Just need the 2 14mm wrenches on that. Get them on both ends and snap them off. Rotate this thing around to get after all the bolts that you need. Okay, so everything is disconnected. We've got all the 4 bolts back here taken off, and the carrier bolts for the bearing up front there taken off. What you'll want to do at the diff end is take your rubber mallet and kind of knock it off so you can knock it loose from the diff. Rotate it around, and it'll pop right off. The screwdriver can help you pry it if you don't get it off with the mallet, but this one popped right off, so we're clear. Then all you do is drop it down past the cat back, and you just pull from the front, and this rotates around and comes right down. There's your 2-piece OEM drive shaft. Okay, drive shaft is gone. Time to put in that carbon drive shaft from DriveShaft shop. But before that, I want to give you guys that coupon code that I was talking about earlier to give you a discount on all DriveShaft shop products on our website, which includes the drive shaft, aluminum, carbon, then also the axles that they have as well. That coupon code is SHAFT, S-H-A-F-T, SHAFT for the coupon code. So use that on our website and we'll get you guys a nice discount on these. So now to put this up, I'm going to have my friend Jeremy here come help me with my shaft. All right. So what you want to do is Jeremy's going to lead this yoke into the transmission. And so he's going to do that while I kind of hold this up and guide it in from the back here. So many sexual innuendos going on. So once Jeremy's got it lined up, we'll kind of push it in, slides right in there, and as you can see, it clears just fine. And you'll get lined up on the rear diff here. Line the bolts up. And then we'll just bolt it down. So we're going to finish that up, and that's it. Simple as that. If you guys got any questions, shoot us a comment in the comments below, or you can shoot us an email, sales@ft86speedfactory.com, or you guys can give us a call, 888-885-2002. Later, guys.